What's up guys, welcome back to another Python automation video. So today we'll be seeing how we can make Python a video editing tool, so we don't have to rely on apps like CapCut. Okay, so with the help of OpenCV Python and Python AutoGUI, we'll be able to do this. Stay tuned. So we'll start by searching up the Python AutoGUI documentation. So as you can see in the official documentation here, so it lets your Python script control the mouse keyboard and also monitor to automate interactions with other applications. So yeah, it basically allows us to control the key components of our system. But for us, we'll be using it to screenshot our screen basically. So we can see here to install it, we'll be using pip install AutoGUI. So since I already have that, open up VS Code. So let's create a new file. Call this file make screenshots.py. So control asterisk there, let's clear that. So if we don't have that, if we don't have the Python AutoGUI, pip install Python AutoGUI. Okay, so Python AutoGUI is what we need to screenshot. Okay, so I'll come to my imports. I'll import Python AutoGUI majorly for my screenshots, then import time. So I'll be using the time package or time module to keep track of the intervals. So it won't be every time I'll be screenshotting, because I'll be using a for loop to repeat. Then I'll be using the time module to basically sleep, to stop it, so that it give a particular amount of seconds, just basically to implement intervals and import our operating system. Okay, so we're using this to create folders, getting files and all that. First of all, let's create a variable where our folder for all our screenshots would be. So I want to store all my screenshots in one location. So if I want it to be in this folder, I guess I can just say screenshots here. I can just call this screenshots. And since I'm not specifying any particular location, so I can come here and use my big C drive, use string literal, then double backward slash. I can say users, and if I want to put this in another location, I can put out the full path. But since I want it to be in this same folder, I'll just put out the name of the folder. So the folder name should be screenshots. Okay, then OS operating system make directories. So make directories, save folder, and exist true or exist okay true. Okay, so now I've created my folder. Now how many screenshots do I want? Let's say we want not much, let's just say 15. 15 will take time, let's just say 12. So num shots, let's say 12. Okay, now the interval, which will be helped using the time library. So the interval in seconds, obviously, let's say 3 seconds. So 3 seconds in between every screenshot. So it means the entire time to use to screenshot will be 36. So the number of shots times the interval. So to use 36 whole seconds. So yeah, you can always check now and say print starting, let's say time lapse. Okay, so starting time lapse. It has created the folder, now it's starting time lapse. So as I said, we'll be using our for loop. So for I in range, so I want you to occur 12 times, right? So I'll say number of shots. Okay, so occur 12 times. The first thing, I want my file name. So the key to making an image is the extension, right? So the file name is very key. So create a variable here, call it file name. So f literal here, let's say in this same folder, right? So curly braces. Now save folder. Now Every screenshot will have the name screenshot since this is a default text screenshots. But the name, I want the name to be different. So I'll say underscore here, then curly braces. So the name of each screenshot should basically be the iteration plus one. So I plus one. So the first screenshot will be saved in this folder and the name will be screenshot underscore I, which is going to be 0 initially plus 1, so making it one screenshot 1 dot, let's say png. Okay, so the extension really matters. Now the screenshot, so this is where our Pyautogui comes in. Screenshot goes to Pyautogui dot screenshot. Okay, so a simple function there, and we save our screenshot dot save. Screenshot dot save in our file name. So save the screenshots in this file we just created. Okay, so we can also, let's just simple text there. So we can say saved, saved file name, right? Yeah, saved file name. So when we save the particular screenshot. Okay, and lastly, our time.sleep. So before it takes the next screenshot, because using for loop to just keep on going until it's too quick for us to move around, right? So I will say time.sleep, and I'll say, let's say 3 seconds, right? Or interval. Since it's already stored it in a variable, instead of writing 3, I'll just say interval, right? Good. So yeah, this is basically going to screenshot my screen 12 times with an interval of 3 seconds each time. Okay, so lastly I can just say print all ss saved, ss for screenshots, into save folder. Okay, so all screenshots saved into save folder and f string in front. Okay, so now, yeah, let's run this. So you see our save folder here with all our screenshots. Okay, so note, to make it a video, I'm going to have to change my screen, move around, so my PC can get multiple screenshots here. So let's run this. So when I see starting screenshots, good. Whoa. I think there's an issue here. I'm seeing saved file name, It's not changing. Oh, I forgot to put f string. But it doesn't really matter about the name, but I want the name to be key. Control C. So I forgot my f string here. Let's just delete this folder. I know that all the screenshots will be on this screen because I didn't move around real quick. So let me delete this folder. Delete screenshots. Okay, so all we have to do is to run it again. Run starting. Just kind of good. Move around. See this. Open up Netflix. Move around. Let's see who's watching. Come back. Check out VS Code again. Move around. Come back to our Google Chrome. Let's search for, let's say, EPL. Okay, when is the Premier League starting next week? Okay, move around. So I think everything should have come down. Check leads code. Let's see what's going on, but I think it should have ended. Okay, let's check. Oh shit. Okay, all screenshots saved. So all our 12 screenshots have been saved. I think most of them are going to be from VS Code because I came back at the end. Okay, so let's check them out. I can just come to screenshot. Let's check screenshot 9. So screenshot 9 is EPL, screenshot 7 Pyautogui, screenshot 5 Netflix, screenshot 10 Google, 11 Google, 12 VS Code. Good. So screenshotted my screen 12 times with an interval of 3 seconds every single time. Good. So now let's make the time lapse using our video writer. Okay, so now let's make the time lapse, and with help of our Python. So now let's make the time lapse with the help of the so now let's make our time lapse with the help of the OpenCV Python. We should be able to do so. Okay, so yeah, let's go check out the OpenCV Python package. So from a little understanding, the OpenCV Python package is used for basic computer vision. Okay, so as you can see here is written, okay, not simple. I think this IPR is not giving us much information. So let's see what Gemini has to say. So it refers to OpenCV, specifically its Python bindings. It's a widely used open source library for computer vision and machine learning. Okay, so but in this case, we're just going to use it. Okay, yeah. In computer vision and machine learning, OpenCV provides a comprehensive set of functions for image and video processing. So, yep, this is what we need: the image and video processing. So, it has functions that help us read images and turns it to like a numpy array. So, numpy is just basically numbers, arrays. Okay, but it has a function imRead that allows us to convert an image to an array. So it understands that, and it has a function video writer that helps make that helps make videos. Okay, so what's the origin? Let's go this origin. So yeah, let's get to it. So we create our new file now. Let's say, okay, not in screenshots. So basically, we're using these screenshots to make a video. Let's call it make underscore video. Okay, make underscore video. Now import. So the module name is actually OpenCV.python, but we'll be importing CV2. Okay, so the module is from OpenCV.python. So yeah, because I already have it, you'd have to install. Let me clear this first so we can see this clearly. So you'd have to install pip install OpenCV.python, as we can see in PyPI. So I think that's what we have in PyPI. Yeah, OpenCV Python. So this is the actual module name, OpenCV Python. Okay. So from there we'll be importing CV2. Okay, yeah, and also there should be another issue. If your Python version is the latest one, like let's say Python 3.13, like mine, you'd also have to install Pillow. So Pillow is another sub package inside, or it works with OpenCV.python, OpenCV Python. When we're working with the video writer function. So you'd have to install Pillow. So yeah, but if you are using a more stable version of Python, you shouldn't have any issues installing that, and you can always debug it online. So we're also going to be putting our operating system to read these files. Okay, so easy imports. Now, what's the name of this folder? Let's just get in a variable. The folder name is screenshots, right? So I'm not storing this in a folder. This is just basically the folder where my screenshots are. So let's just use variables, and we need an output file. Yeah, an output file. So let's just call it video.mp4. Remember, extensions matter a lot. Good. Now we have our folder and we have the output file, so which are going to be created there with help of our operating system module. So now let's get all the images here. So obviously we can use a for loop through everything, get every file that ends with a PNG. It's all stressful. So we'll be using list comprehension, and obviously we're going to sort it at the end, but by default it should be already sorted, but we'll still sort it. Okay, so first of all, the images, they're all going to be in a list, so we can iterate it easily and map it to the video. So a list, right? A list comprehension. So say img, with img that I'm returning, let's start normally. For every img in folder, not just folder, os.list, why is os not responding? In list dir of folder. So list all the files in folder. If img.ends with double quotes png, or should we say .png? Yeah, let's say .png. But right now everything there ends with .png, so I don't think we need to do this like that. But yeah, just in case we have another file or another image type like .jpg, we need to use that. But for now, I don't think it's quite useful. Okay, so yeah, why do I have this over here? It's not closed. What do you mean why it was not closed? I think my Python interpreter is slowing down. So now, before it catches up, I'll have to sort it. So I'll just say sorted, and it's to sort the list for me. So why is this guy still telling me this? I think my Python is just slow. So let's move on. Okay. So now we would need to get the dimensions of each image. Obviously, they're going to be the same thing because it's just my full screen. But I want to get the dimension so that I can set it for our video making. So we're basically getting the dimension for our video making. So if you're familiar with NumPy, which is very good data science package used for data science analysis and all that, there is a property for each array which is shape. So the shape property basically allows you to get features like number of rows, number of columns, number of layers of a particular array. Okay, so and return a tuple, right? So if you want to get those values, the first one, it actually returns the row first, then the number of columns. But in this case, since this guy is going to return a NumPy array, right, I'm also going to have rows, columns. Remember, it's going to basically like hash, will I say hash or encode our image into a NumPy array. So it's basically going to convert it to an array of numbers. So that's how it's working behind the scenes. So yeah, let's just say, let's call that so we'll be getting that using okay. So for all that, we need a frame. So a frame basically just refers to, like, you know, frames per second. How many frames per second do you see in a video? I think we're all familiar with FPS, right? So let's create a variable called, let's call this frame here. Alright, so I'll say cv2.imread. You remember we just talked about the imread earlier on. So the imread basically converts the image into what's NumPy array, right? So to get to that path, I'll just say os.path. Let's say os.path.join, or join this folder to the file name, right? So images of 0. So I don't want to basically like test everything. I just want to test one of them, so I'm just using the first one. Remember, I can use any other image since they're all going to be the same thing, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just using the first one. So images of 0 basically gets me the first image in this list, which is going to be screenshot 1.png. Okay, so yeah, this guy here, imread, converts my image into an array of numbers basically. Okay, so that's my frame. So now that it's an array of numbers, I can get its shape. So frame.shape, I should have frame.shape here. That's not suggested. Frame.shape here will help me do so. Okay, I know the issue now, so I'm supposed to say img, return img for img numbers in this direction. Okay, that was why I had the error there. So yeah, so frame.shape returns a tuple of row, column, layers, and all that, right? Which are exactly what we need. So if you look at it, the number of rows are technically like the height, because rows are horizontal. Yes, they move like this, 1, 2, 3. But if you stack those horizontal rows on top of each other, they technically give you the height of the table, right? And our columns, which are vertical, right? Vertical, vertical, vertical. Put them side by side, add them all together, and they technically give you the width of our table. Let's just call it a table, right? So since shape is returning a row first, I can basically say, the number of rows first. So I can just say the height should be the number of rows, right? And the width should be the number of columns. Okay, so return the height. Since return a row first, all the rows make up the height and all the columns make up the width. So you can also add layers then, and not compulsory, but let's just add layers then. Simple variable, right? So yeah, frame the shape property, very useful. Okay, so now yeah, which 4 character encoding are we going to use? We're obviously going to use MP4 because MP4 is the video type I'm storing. I've already declared it to be MP4. But the 4 character encoding we're going to have to use is going to be MP4V. Okay, so that's like the standard, I guess. So 4cc, let's just call it. So 4 character encoding. I'm actually using this name because it's also like an attribute in a function we'll be using very soon. So just know it technically means 4 character code, or 4 character code, sorry. So CV2 again dot video writer, right? Video writer. So CV2 dot video writer, right, underscore 4cc here. So this is built in, that's why I use 4cc here. So 4 character code, right, should be, everything should be basically string dot mp4v. I don't think we don't need the dot there, so just mp4v, right? So everything should be mp4v. Now our video should be CV2. So we'll use video writer alone to make the video. So first of all, where are we going to store this video? So video writer. So this is basically me telling it it's 4 character code, basically, like it's extension type, you get. So store this in output file. Remember, we created output file for a reason, and the encoding here, or the code. Now the next one should be frames per second. So 30. So it's because I've already studied this package, I know that. You can always come back here. Let's check out video writer just so we can look at it together. Video writer function in OpenCV, OpenCV Python. Any documentation here? Okay, let's see this. So I know the last one is going to be width and height. So let's just see documentation online, basically. So anyone helping? Okay, yes, this is basically what we need. File name, 4 character code, frames per size, or frames per second, sorry, and frame size. Okay, so file name, 4 character code, frame per second. So basically, how many frames, how many pictures do we want to see per second, like the speed of the video, basically, and frame size. Okay, so frame size in this case should be, I can't say 30, we'll have to edit that. Frame size would be width and height, right? Width and height, or height and width. So let's just say width and height. So I think width comes first, right? So width and height. So I'm putting it a tuple because that's how it goes, right? So 30 frames per second won't work because we only have 12 frames, right? So 30 frames per second won't make sense. So should we use 1 frame per second? Let's use 2 frames per second. Okay. So 2 frames per second seems decent, sorry. Now the moment of making the video. So we already have the video object down, right? The video writer. All we have to do is to add each frame from this images list to this video using the write method or function. Sorry, using the write function. So for loop again, for I in range, instead of range, we don't need the range. For I in images, right? So we just want the images directly, and we don't need I in that case. Let's call it image. For every image in images, basically, yeah. So that makes sense. So yeah, we need the path. Where is this image coming from? The image is coming from os.path.join the folder, which is folder. Let's just say folder, right? Screenshots and add the image name, which is just image. The image itself, this variable itself, is basically the name, right? So when it merges it together using join, it gets us that path. So now our frame, right, just like what we did here, basically the same thing. So frame equals to cv2.imread, so converts this image into a numpy array, right? So I'll just use image path on its own, right? So here, the same thing I did here, I just put it in a variable. Okay, so let's make it more structured and organized. So I'll just put it in a variable, right? And I'll say video, right? So this is our video here, the right. So basically attach this frame to the video. So good, we have our first frame in the video, or we have all our frames in the video, because they'll keep on writing until we have everything done, right? We have everything gone. So last but not least, we'd have to release our video writer. So it's just like close here. It's just like closing a file object. Open. We use the open method for file handling and stuff like that. And we use close to just let it go. So let's go over our video writer. So yeah, basically we've made our video. Let's do a simple message. Let's say print. That's it. The video is done. The video is done. Okay, good. So this should work all well and good. Let's play it again, then we'll do a recap. Wow, we have an issue here. img. So str object has no attribute ends with. Every string has an attribute ends with, right? For image in os.list dir folder, if img the ends with image. Okay, not capital letter W. Python are being tricky. Small letter W, so not capital letter W. Let's run that again. So that should be all good. Video is done, so I can see my video, the mp4. And video code is not allowing me to open it, so I would have to check it in my file explorer. So come to my file explorer. So first, I think this should be my desktop, right? So let's say YouTube Timelapse, right? Okay, yeah, this is the video, so let's check it out. Okay, good. 2 frames per second. Yeah, it's kind of a fast video, right? Good, it's kind of a fast video. So yeah, if you want to make a montage, quick edit using pictures, so instead of screenshots in this case, you can use your actual pictures. I know it might seem like there's no big deal about it. You can easily use CapCut. So instead of screenshots, you can basically use images of your choice, add it up together, put it in a folder, and just basically this is the only file you basically need. Your video writer, read it, and yeah, that's basically it. But the screenshot is also good because it introduces us to a Python Auto GUI. So yeah, let's go over it again, right? So the first file, make screenshots, allows us to screenshot every window, right, with an interval of 3 seconds. So 12 screenshots. So for that, we made our directory using our operating system. Thank you. So yep, basically 12 shots, run 12 times, create an image file, just a name, right? So screenshot, save it here. So this save actually saves the screenshot to this location. Okay, so inbuilt file handling there, print saved, and time the sleep to just handle our intervals, right? So all well and good. The main functionality here should just be these 2 lines of code, the screenshot and the saving. So obviously making of directory too. Okay, and our make video works with our OpenCV Python, computer vision, you can see for machine learning and all that, but we're just focusing on the video and image processing. So the major things here were the imread, converting our image to what? A numpy array, converting image to an array of numbers. Wow, that's really good. And our video writer to make our video. So our video writer object takes the output file, before character code MPV4. I think we should also have wave V, like WAVV. Different extensions for videos though. So 2 frames per second here, so just 2 pictures per second, right? Then width height, we got that from the frame.shape property, which is actually something I learned from NumPy. So yeah, you must stick around for another video. I'll drop a video on NumPy. Okay, so for loop again, for loop coming in clutch. Image, always the join, folder image, read again, converts the image to what? A number array of numbers. Then finally, the video should write that number, then release, and our video is done. Okay, so if I wanted to save this somewhere else, I could have just changed my folder. As I said, I can use an arbitrary string. So // will mean something. C drive, right? Users, in my case, it is Moawa, my username. Moawa, right? Like I say, desktop to // right? So to create a folder on my desktop called // but I think I'm just good seeing it here. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.